Hello friends, German cars have always enjoyed high demand, and not without reason. Their reliability and functionality are truly admirable. We know many car brands from Germany, but for decades, one of the most popular has been the BMW Group. Its models have long become symbols of luxury and sporty style. Today, this Bavarian company is a massive corporation with numerous car factories not only in Germany but also in various countries around the world, including regions as far as North Africa. They say of BMW, in life, you can change many things, but a BM only for another BMW. So finally, it's time to share on our channel the story of the creation and evolution of this car brand, which, by the way, is over 120 years old and undoubtedly, it will be interesting to absolutely everyone. But it all began in December of 1896 in the city of Eisenach, where a certain Heinrich Eckhart, a talented engineer and nephew of the renowned inventor and successful locomotive manufacturer Johann Heinrich Eckhart, opened his first mechanical engineering factory. His involvement with car production and components didn't happen by chance. Initially, the factory produced vehicles designed specifically for the needs of the German army. These were ambulances, mobile field kitchens, carriages, and even bicycles. It's worth noting that at the time, Heinrich was already 50 years old. Very little is known about his childhood and youth, except that he was born in 1840 in Thuringia, and at the age of 24 went to work at the Hartmann engineering plant in Chemnitz, which was Saxony's largest company at the time. It was there that he developed a love for machinery, which stayed with him for the rest of his life. Overall, this was another factory producing everything the army required, and back then, mass production of civilian vehicles wasn't even considered. There were no ideas, no design bureau, not even the desire to create something like that. And most likely, it would have ended there, if not for an article in a local newspaper that one morning caught Heinrich Eckhart's attention during breakfast. It vividly described the incredible achievements and success of his German peers Daimler and Benz. Specifically, it was about their immensely popular motor carriages of the time. For those who haven't seen the Mercedes-Benz history on our channel yet, let me remind you, it was Carl Benz who invented the first automobile powered by an internal combustion engine. Carl Benz was undoubtedly a pioneer in automotive engineering. Heinrich Eckhart realized that he couldn't just stand by and watch Daimler and Benz bask in all the glory. At that moment, an ambitious idea struck him to create something unforgettable, something the world would talk about for generations. He was confident in his abilities and believed he was no less capable than his fellow engineers. The thought of building something light, non-military, and distinctly different from his competitors took hold. However, to save time and resources, Eckhart chose a shortcut. He purchased a license from the French automobile manufacturer Duc de Ville, showcased at the Paris Auto Show. And that, dear friends, is how what we now know as BMW began, though back then, the vehicle was simply a licensed motor carriage called the Wartburg. It was not a unique in-house design. Just a few months later, in September of 1898, the Wartburg drove itself to the Dusseldorf Motor Exhibition, joining the ranks of Daimler, Benz, Opel, and Durkop. A year after that, it even won 2 major car races. Throughout its existence, Wartburg earned 22 medals, one of them for its elegant design. While Wartburg made its mark, its story soon came to an end. In 1903, Eckhart's factory faced bankruptcy due to mounting debts that had accumulated over the years. The company stood at a crossroads, either shut down or pivot. Unexpectedly, help came from investor Jakob Shapira, a passionate fan of the motorized carriage and the profits it generated. Shapira injected a significant sum into the business and became the factory's supervisor. He also assumed key management responsibilities. Within a year, the factory, under his guidance, began producing Dixie cars based on a licensed version of Britain's Austin 7. Interestingly, the first batch came with right-hand steering marking, a rare moment in continental Europe where passengers sat on the left. Between 1904 and the following years, 15,822 Dixie cars were produced, and they were immensely popular. Sales thrived, but growing competition forced the company to innovate and finally develop something original. Thus came the Dixie 315 PSA premium vehicle with impressive speed for its time, reaching up to 75 kilometers per hour. However, even this car was based on the English Dixie design. Heinrich Eckhart continued to dream of creating a civilian automobile, but the company's management, driven by shareholder interests, remained focused solely on profit. To increase revenue, Swiss engineer Carl Friedrich Rapp was invited, a passionate aviation enthusiast and skilled technician whose success seemed always just out of reach. Under the BMW banner, Rapp launched a small production line for aircraft engines and airframes. He had drive, enthusiasm, and a mind full of ideas, but unfortunately, not much luck. His first biplane, showcased at an exhibition, failed to take off. Undeterred, the engineer began refining a new version, powered by an engine he assembled himself. Yet at this stage, the company still didn't find success. A special exhibition planned for the year 1914 was cancelled due to the outbreak of war. Ironically, it was the perfect time to develop engines and aircraft for the military, but Rapp's luck didn't improve. His engines were so noisy that local residents signed a petition to prohibit planes powered by Rapp's motors from flying over their home. On the 7th of March, 1916, the enterprise was officially registered under the name Bayerische Flugzeugwerke Bavarian Aircraft Works, or BFW, but fresh investment was urgently needed. Enter a new figure, a Viennese banker named Camillo Castiglione, who acquired Rapp's share in the company. This dramatically increased BFW's capitalization to nearly 1.5 million marks. To be honest, the organizational structure became so complex that even insiders struggled to understand who was responsible for what. BMW became an umbrella brand for a variety of operations run by different people, but still united under one parent company. After the banker's entry, engineer Franz Joseph Popp was brought on board. A former Austro-Hungarian naval lieutenant with an advanced technical education and a keen eye for innovation, Popp quickly laid out a development plan for the company. The first thing he did was hire Max Fries, a former engineer from Daimler. Then on the 21st of July, 1917, a historic entry was made in the Munich Trade Registry. Rapp's Bavarian Aircraft Works was renamed Bayerische Motorenwerke Bavarian Motor Works. That was the day BMW as we know it was officially born. It's worth noting that even after the name change, the company continued producing its original product, aircraft engines. After the war ended, the Treaty of Versailles prohibited Germany from manufacturing aircraft engines, but that didn't stop BMW. On the 9th of June, 1919, a plane powered by a BMW engine reached an altitude of 9,760 meters. One record remained unofficial again due to the restrictions of the Treaty of Versailles. Meanwhile, banker Camillo Castiglione acquired another aircraft engine factory for the company, enabling BMW to split production into two separate divisions, airplane engine development and automobile manufacturing. From that point on, the company's engineers focused on crafting something new, and by 1923, the Germans stunned visitors at the Paris Motor Show by unveiling their first motorcycle, the BMW R32. It took the company a full 5 years to define the core directions in which it would grow: motorcycles, automobiles, and aircraft engines. These sectors became BMW's main pillar, and they've remained so ever since. At the same time, BMW continued producing its British licensed Dixie cars, and in 1929, they won a race at the International Olympic Rally. In 1930, BMW's leadership made a bold move to reach back 30 years into history and release a vehicle under the classic Wartburg name. That nostalgic motor carriage from a previous century returned in physical form as the DA3 model. As the magazine Motor and Sport noted, only a truly good driver can master a Wartburg. A poor driver is not worthy of this car, and those weren't just words. The DA3 was a serious machine, capable of reaching 100 kilometers per hour. BMW's next achievement came with the BMW 303 model, which created a sensation at the Berlin Motor Show. Under the hood was the smallest six-cylinder engine ever made, with a displacement of 173 cubic centimeters. The manufacturer promised speeds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour. The 303 model defined BMW's design language for nearly 70 years. The next car to win drivers' hearts was the BMW 326 Cabriolet, marking the end of the brand's earliest three models. By 1941, the company had sold 16,326 units, a true commercial triumph. Meanwhile, BMW didn't forget its more elite clientele. The brand's first limousine appeared in 1939, offering strong competition to the Opel Admiral and Ford V8. Yet just as BMW began to find solid footing, war once again halted the development of vehicles for civilian use. All resources were urgently redirected to the production of aircraft engines and military vehicles. In the early 1940s, 3,000 vehicles were assembled by Eisenach under the name BMW 325 LH Spakivi. Germany's defeat in the war almost spelled the destruction of BMW itself. The Milbertshofen plant was reduced to rubble by the Allies, while the Eisenach factories fell under Soviet control. As expected, the situation unfolded according to plan. The equipment in Eisenach was simply taken to Russia, but there was no room for retreat. At a shareholders' meeting, those who had survived the Second World War and remained in Germany made the decision to rebuild the company piece by piece. At the time, immense resources and funding were needed. A large number of investors were brought in, and BMW's management constantly changed depending on who contributed the most to the company's budget. But even those challenges didn't prevent BMW from regaining its footing and releasing a post-war innovation, something the USSR could do more easily with ready-made production lines and financial stability. BMW's first official post-war product was the 250 cubic centimeter motorcycle, the R24. It was released and showcased at the Geneva Motor Show in 1948. It was followed by the R51, R67, and the 600 cubic centimeter R68, which could reach a top speed of 160 kilometers per hour. By the early 1950s, around 30,000 people proudly owned a BMW motorcycle. Yet despite this success, the company struggled to return to its original passion automobile production. BMW's first attempt in the post-war era was the BMW 501, which the public welcomed with enthusiasm. However, one issue nearly brought the company to its knees. The 501 was extremely expensive to produce. The 1950s were far from BMW's most successful years. Following the 501 came the 507 and 503, which also failed to meet expectations, plunging the company into debt. Not even a marketing campaign could turn things around. Only a miracle could save BMW at this point, and it happened. With no funds left to develop cutting-edge vehicles, BMW watched helplessly as competitors dazzled auto shows with stylish innovations year after year. Their final attempt to produce anything was the BMW Isetta 250er, as its makers called it, Moto K. It was the dying gasp of a company on the brink, yet to everyone's surprise, these tiny vehicles which competitors had mocked became BMW's lifeline. No one could have imagined that this marvel of engineering, appearing on Germany's roads, would revolutionize automotive design. The BMW Isetta 250, followed by the Isetta 300 with an engine of only 298 cubic centimeters, won the hearts of hundreds of thousands of drivers. It was a staggering success. In just a few years, as many as 137,000 units were sold. Interestingly, the model became especially beloved in England, where authorities allowed it to be driven with only a motorcycle license after all. It had just one wheel in the rear. Even after such unexpected triumph, BMW once again faced hardship. The year 1959 went down in German history as a financial crisis, one that even major companies struggled to survive. For BMW, which had barely stayed afloat, it was nearly fatal. Once again, the question arose, should the company be shut down? After lengthy discussions and meetings, the BMW board of directors made a surprising decision. The company could only be saved by merging with another firm. Truthfully, there weren't many options, and first on the list was Mercedes. But fortunately for fans of both brands, the merger never happened. First, Mercedes simply scoffed at the struggling Bavarians. Second, a group of BMW shareholders worked behind the scenes to place the company's shares in the hands of Herbert Quandt. In doing so, BMW was rescued from financial collapse. Immediately after, a new board of directors was appointed and tasked with defining the company's direction for the years ahead, producing mid-range automobiles and aircraft engines. That same winter, the BMW 1500 was released from the Munich factory. The model easily reached a top speed of 150 kilometers per hour and accelerated from 0 to 116.8 seconds. Within a year, 24,000 BMW 1500s were sold. Following its success, the BMW 2500 hit the market, selling 95,000 units and even taking victory in the 24-hour race at Spa. The 1970s marked a major shift in company strategy. From then on, every BMW vehicle received a serial number based on its class. The BMW 5020, released in 1972, became the first post-war 5 Series. Under its hood was a 4-cylinder engine, and it weighed over 1,275 kilograms, significantly more than previous models. It was also equipped with seatbelts, so within a year, 45,000 drivers would buckle up each morning and enjoy the thrilling 13-second dash to 100 kilometers per hour. And of course, the Bavarians didn't stop there. In 1978, at the Paris Motor Show, BMW unveiled a car capable of going head-to-head with Lamborghini. The M1 project, also known as E26, was designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro and reached 100 kilometers per hour in just 6 seconds. It gave the sensation of driving a Ferrari only. This was a German Ferrari. While pursuing these high-performance machines, BMW didn't forget about everyday drivers eagerly awaiting their own upgrades. In 1975, BMW released a new 3 Series, the BMW 323i, which became the class leader of its time. Its top speed was 192 kilometers per hour, and it accelerated to 100 in just 9 seconds. Granted, there was one major drawback: it consumed 14 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers, but that didn't stop BMW fans. Year after year, the lineup expanded with models like the BMW 316, 320, and 320 Ti. From that point on, BMW earned its status as a cult automobile. At the end of the 1970s, the range welcomed its first 7 Series, notably the 728. This 1.5-ton car could reach 200 kilometers per hour, and it cost notably less than the newly released Mercedes S-Class. In 1983, BMW participated in the Formula One Championship for the first time with turbocharged engines fairly beating Renault. Behind the wheel of the Brabham BMW car was Brazilian driver Nelson Piquet, and at peak power, the M12-13 engine delivered 1,080 horsepower at 11,000 revolutions per minute. That year, BMW became the first F1 world champion among turbo-powered teams, a moment that didn't surprise anyone, least of all the disappointed French. By the mid-80s, BMW had firmly secured its place under the sun. No longer could anyone call it an average brand struggling to survive. In just 15 years, the company rose from deep debt to the pinnacle of automotive engineering. Next came a literal race between BMW and Mercedes. And out of this rivalry emerged one of the most iconic models ever, the legendary M3 in the E30 body, capable of reaching 100 kilometers per hour in just 6 seconds. Drivers could adjust the suspension mode depending on road conditions, selecting sport for grip, normal, or comfort. BMW's luxury car journey officially began in 1989 with the release of the 850i model. The 8 Series was meant to be Bavaria's ultimate flagship and a direct rival to the Aston Martin V8, Ferrari Mondial, Mercedes 500 SL, and Porsche 928. The BMW 850i was a technological marvel of its time. But as is often the case with stunning sports coupes, after a brilliant debut, it quickly faded from the spotlight, joining many similar cars in the archives. After the first 8 Series, BMW unveiled a vehicle boldly dubbed Car of the Century, the legendary M5 E34 with 388 horsepower. It could hit 100 kilometers per hour in 6.5 seconds, but its top speed remained a mystery. The 1990s became a time of renewal for the company. The 7 Series was revamped, especially the 741 in the E38 body. The 5 Series wasn't left behind either. The E39 burst into the automotive scene. 7 engine options catered to all types of drivers, from easygoing cruisers to thrill seekers. And for those who couldn't be tamed, BMW unveiled the 540. By the end of 1999, the company had fully conquered the overseas market by opening its BMW factory in Spartanburg, South Carolina. But Bavarian management soon realized that sedans alone wouldn't impress the American market. Yes, BMW was already widely popular abroad, but Americans craved not just speed, they loved form and versatility. BMW needed something bigger, brighter, and bolder. So the company began developing its first lightweight SUV. And of course, it became the now beloved X5, praised for its performance and design. Its key features included an unibody construction and fully independent suspension. The new model's platform came from the Bavarian 5 Series E39. For 15 years, the X5 remained BMW's most popular vehicle, only recently giving way to other models in the brand's lineup. In 2002, the BMW Group achieved a record-breaking sales milestone, delivering 1,057,000 vehicles. That same year, it won the prestigious Car of the Year award in Russia. In 2003, BMW unveiled its most luxurious models from the 7 Series, the 760i and 760li, along with a brand new sedan from the 5 Series. The BMW Z4 was also named Convertible of the Year. To further solidify its reputation overseas, in 2006 BMW launched the opulent X6, combining top-tier technical capabilities of an SUV with the sleek aesthetics of a coupe. Interestingly, the Japanese were first in this crossover category. Nissan released the Infiniti FX35 as early as 2003, tailored specifically for the American market. The Germans, aiming to challenge this, entered the competition. While Infiniti FX proved more popular than the BMW X6, the Bavarian still claimed a noticeable slice of the market. By 2008, BMW was producing over 1 million vehicles annually, and its manufacturing facilities and affiliated operations employed more than 100,000 people. That same year, the company generated over 50 billion euros in revenue, with a net profit of 330 million euros. It marked the first time BMW had fully paid off all its debts. In 2009, the world premiere of the new sedan from BMW's legendary 5 Series took place. The flagship model of the lineup was the magnificent 550i, embodying the finest qualities of the brand. With its refined and stylish design, exceptional driving comfort, and remarkable efficiency, it quickly became BMW's calling card. In September of 2011, BMW celebrated a major milestone, the official opening of an ultra-modern carbon fiber manufacturing plant in collaboration with SGL Group. Located in Moses Lake, Washington, USA, the new facility began producing reinforced carbon fiber, a super lightweight composite used in vehicles from BMW's sub-brand, BMW i. That same year, at the Geneva International Motor Show, BMW presented its innovative electric car, the Active E. In December of 2014, the phenomenal BMW i8 was named Car of the Year by the influential automotive magazine Top Gear. The competition was fierce, with numerous top-tier global luxury automakers in the running, yet the groundbreaking capabilities of the BMW i8 stood out and were honored accordingly. Let's also take a moment to address the company's iconic logo. Many believe the BMW emblem symbolizes the brand's aviation heritage, a spinning propeller, reflecting its early engine designs. But that's not quite accurate. Throughout BMW's history, the logo has evolved, but its core identity has remained unmistakable. Only the colors, initials, and stylistic elements have changed. When the name BMW was entered into the commercial registry in early 1917, the brand had no official logo. The first BMW emblem appeared later that year, based on the old logo of the company Rapp, founded by Karl Rapp, with the letters BMW added. The surrounding accents changed from white to gold. The 4 sectors of the inner circle were crafted in white and blue. In reality, the BMW emblem represents the coat of arms of Bavaria, which depicts white and blue diamonds. This interpretation is officially supported by the company. Today, what started over a century ago as a small factory has grown into a global enterprise, with 5 plants in Germany and dozens of facilities across Malaysia, India, Egypt, Vietnam, Thailand, and Russia. The vehicles that BMW has produced throughout its history and continues to produce are true symbols of premium comfort. Interestingly, BMW is one of the few automotive companies that doesn't use robots on its assembly lines. All manufacturing is done manually, and final quality is verified through computer diagnostics. The BMW empire has found itself on the brink of collapse 5 separate times, yet each time, it rose again and achieved success. And in closing, it's worth saying a few words about Heinrich Eckhart, the man from whom it all began. This talented self-taught engineer registered 128 patents in the German Empire over his lifetime. In 1891, he patented a process for producing seamless tubes, later known as Eckhart's extrusion and drawing method. He also contributed to the development of the recoil pistol. In fact, an Eckhart mountain gun model 1901 was named in his honor. At the outbreak of the First World War, his company, which included the BMW factories, became one of Germany's leading weapons manufacturers. By January of 1914, its workforce exceeded 8,000 employees. Later that year, the number increased to 14,000 and eventually reached 48,000 workers. By the end of 1917, Eckhart's company was producing more than 2.5 million cartridges and shells per day, over 500 pistols, rifles, and machine guns, and up to 50 different artillery and anti-aircraft weapons. After the end of World War I and the company's bankruptcy, this line of work was discontinued, and BMW went its own way, independent of Heinrich Eckhart. Initially, Eckhart held 31.2% of shares in the Eisenach Motorworks joint stock company. But when he reached the age of 80, he stepped down from leadership due to disagreements with the other shareholders. Until 1928, Heinrich Eckhart taught in his hometown of Zella St. Blasius. In that year, at the age of 88, the heart of the brilliant engineer stopped. So friends, I believe this is everything you need to know about the story of BMW. If I missed anything, be sure to mention it in the comments, and of course, share your personal thoughts about this iconic brand. As the saying goes, people fall into two categories, those who adore BMW and those who don't. It'll be interesting to find out how many belong to each, but for now, that's all. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and see you soon.